So our plan has changed from the last update that we gave you, as per usual. Al got the main portion of the house planed, the big box portion, and so he still has the kitchen portion and the porch once we get that done. But then we got a rainy day and we decided to get more lumber. So what we're going to do now is we are going to finish the porch portion of the build, those 3 beams, I guess it is. And then he's probably going to have to do the rest of the planing first before we start doing the joists. So that is our plan right now. And yeah, very exciting. It's looking really good.
Trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn. The voice of the robin, call of the dove, the red leaves are falling, the barn owl is calling, the welcome of the dawn. The dogs will be howling in the early morning light. All are happy to be out in the ending of the night, welcome of the dawn. The nights are turning colder, soon the falling of the frost. Soon the summer will be over. You feel the change is closer at the welcome of the dawn. The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn. Though the warm days are over, they are not forever gone. Like the dust brings the night, the summer brings the fall. It won't be long till harvest comes, morning brings the welcome of the dawn. Daylight is calling, welcome of the dawn.
we hang on the hem of your gown. Blue sky come, promise not to leave us.
Hey guys, we have a beautiful day today. It is definitely fall proper now. It's only getting up to 13 today, but it's beautiful. All the trees are changing. It just looks gorgeous out here. Today we are going to continue working on installing some of the joist hangers. Al has all of the ones in the half that is on the west side of the big box hung as of yesterday, and now he's just going down the center beam and doing the ones on the other side, on the east side, so that when we actually put the joists in, they're not in his way when he goes to put those on. So we are going to do the west side first and see how much we get done today.
The shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world, what's in the life you never could afford. Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. To rise above these crowds, stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground.
Remember, because I made it so tight.
Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. Although you're earthbound. You're earthbound.
Okay, folks, a couple things real quick, and I just wanted to, again, we mentioned this over and over, not a how-to channel, but I thought I would share this. Just anyone's ever hung joists, whether you're using one of these over the top, like with the hang, whatever you call these, dog ears or whatever they're called, like hang over the top type hanger, or the traditional, most of the joist hangers you see that you just nail into the wall. Highly recommend building a jig like this. So all I did was, using one of the cut pieces from our beams, I installed the joist hanger flush to the end and screwed it in at the sides. And really all this was for, and for bonus points, I marked a line at the center so that, and I'm going to put this down so it doesn't pull focus on the camera. So once you have that jig, and I have that center line in the middle of the joist, then what I've done is I started measuring all my 16 centers all the way from the end across. So then you can put the jig up, and depending on how over the top, anal retentive you are, where I am at the extreme end of that, you do it a couple of ways, right? Even if you just simply hang it, center the line, and just draw a line on either side, where I went right out of hand and drew a line on each side of each dog ear, and I put a circle in for each of the screw holes, so that when I put my joist hangers on, I know exactly where they need to go, and they fit pretty tight. Taking a line from Breaking Bad, Tuco tight. So I like things to be quite exacting, although I know, like, when it comes to hanging joists, really you don't have to be 100% like to a 1/28 of an inch, precisely 16 centers. You really just want to make sure that when you go to the 16-foot mark, you're going to hit stud or floor when you're putting down boards and drywall and stuff. But again, I figure we're doing this once, and if you can do it nice and accurate, do it nice and accurate. So anyways, that's the end of my soapbox speech. Just building that jig was really helpful. I would say it's probably equally helpful when you use the kind of flush mount joist hangers, because often they're not as deep as the actual dimensional lumber you're installing them on. So just having that, being able to line it up and know exactly where to put your joist hangers, especially if you're going to put them in first before you hang the joists. I know some people put the hangers in after. There's lots of ways to skin the proverbial cat, but this is just the way we did it. So anyways, yesterday went really well. We hung all the joists that we had. We're out of whole lumber. Tomorrow we will probably call ahead to see what's in stock, and may pick up some more 2x12x16s and continue the floor. If they don't have those, or they don't have a whole lot of them, we can also pick up some 2x8s. We're going to also put the floor in our porch. That doesn't need to be 2x12 joists. Based on the span chart in Ontario code, I could probably get away with 2x6s. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2x8s, and I'm going to install them not with joist hangers, but I'm going to go with a more traditional method. I'm going to use ledger strip, because the idea is, again, I haven't used pressure treated lumber for my beams, so it's going to be critical that I seal that up and Tyvek it underneath to ensure that I don't get any wind wash or moisture getting up into my non-treated framing members. And again, different opinions and different levels of risk and care. I don't like using pressure treated lumber inside of a dwelling anywhere where it could potentially off gas into the living space. To me, it's just no bueno. When someone tells me that you can't burn that lumber because of the carcinogenic chemicals that it gives off, and that it absolutely does off gas some of those same chemicals as it's curing and drying, that just to me says no bueno, and keep it out of your house. So again, for those that haven't watched all our videos, only my posts, my 6x6 posts, and any of the additional bearing edges, like the scabbing that I've carriage bolted on to make more room for the beam to sit on, all that is pressure treated, but that's it. From above those posts and everything that we're putting in the house, no pressure treated lumber. So that having been said, we will be putting that 2x4 ledger strip all the way along the bottom inside of the beam, and I will also be putting some cross members at 24 inch spacing. And so what that's going to provide is both the ledger strip for the 2x8s to sit across, And so the 7.5 inches plus the 3.5 inches of the ledger strip in the joist, that'll give me my 11 inches to fill the void in those 2x12 beams. And so then I have a nailing surface underneath again for plywood to encapsulate the bottom of the porch. And and then more than code requires 2x8 joists for the porch itself. Because again, one side of our porch is going to be kind of a closet of sorts. I'm going to have a barn door system where we can, from the outside, load all our firewood. Then we'll close that up. And then from the inside, there will be a closet door in the kitchen area where I can open that up and take firewood from inside. Anyone that has a wood burning stove, and we learned this very quickly in our experience here in the Blue Box, is firewood's messy. And unless you want like bits of bark and dust and bugs and things all over everywhere always, it's good to have a way to kind of load your firewood from the outside, and then you can take it nice and clean from the inside, and then when you've depleted your stock, open up those doors again and sweep all the bark and the bugs and the gross into the outside world where it belongs, and not all over your living room and leaving a trail to your fireplace. So that's what we're up to. So one other thing I guess worth mentioning as I ramble, all the cut ends so far that we have from the beams and from the joists, I'm just doing a little bit of figuring and mathing right now, because I have a requirement to block my flooring at the halfway point, and I have a requirement because of the depth of the rafters we're going to build. I need to block them as well. And also, again, not wanting to work with trusses, what I did was designed a house that maximized the use of dimensional lumber and 2x12x16s as rafters. So they come right to the top plates, but there's not a whole lot of overlap. So I'm going to have to extend my rafters on the other side to create proper soffit and eaves, so that we have rain shelter as well as an area for air to draw up and along the roof to the ridge. So all these leftover pieces that I have, I've been kind of piling them by size and measuring them out. And the longest ones, which are the majority of the ones coming off the main joists, I'm going to use those as my rafter extensions. And then what I need is 14.5-inch pieces for the floor blocking. So 14.5 inches will sit in between the 16 center joists. And then I need 22.5-inch blocking for the 24-inch spaced rafters that I'll have. So the idea is, in some cases I have pieces that might be long enough where I could cut one joist block and one rafter block off the same piece. Some of them are a little shorter, so I might get away with just two floor blocks, etc., etc. So it's kind of a crappy game of Tetris to figure out, what pieces I have and kind of organize them by length, and then figure out how to maximize the use of that leftover lumber. And then, of course, if I don't have enough, I will go get some more. But I just want to make sure that I'm, again, part of me building a stick house, it's a little unsustainable in that, it's a lot of big trees that make a 2x12. So we just want that wood to go as far as possible, because we can't put those trees back.
I can be a shadow rolling on the street. I can make the same movements on repeat. I can go on walking when I'm sound asleep. I can lose myself